heavy is dead. The heavy is dead.
Correct.
Serious? Me? Who killed Heavy?
It was
Me? Yes! I did it like this.
That's the joke.
Lads.
Hello everyone, and welcome. Welcome. The definition of an armor is basically a steel that is able to protect you or any other beings. Why am I even explaining what armor even is? Armor just basically makes things less ouchy and more makes you alive, basically. That's all I can really say. It makes ouchy less ouchy. Does that make sense? Okay, good. In my case, it fucking protects you from any harm. Anyway, in Dying Like the Beast case, it also protects you from the enemies, but also provides you with some bit of benefits. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. We're going to be starting off with every bit of armor that exists in the game, and as well as provide my own overall opinion, and just rank them through 0 to 10. I don't like tier lists because I find them to be quite boring and too simplistic. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it.
I was told we would be fighting men!
The heavy armor set is very straightforward. It does not provide any sort of a passive stats like the other armors do, but it provides the highest amount of gear armor value in the entire game, which is probably the number one primary focus that a lot of the armors should have, because some provide less, some provide more, and then there's the heavy armor set which provides the highest armor. It just basically protects you from overall damage, which I'm not sure how it works exactly. I'm not sure if it's like a percentage base or if it's like a flat amount. Who cares? Who fucking knows? It just protects you, and it's pretty damn good. It's gonna definitely allow you to survive on a lot of hits, whether it be through marksmen, snipers, goons, demolishers, or volatiles. Basically, it's gonna allow you to survive a lot of more hits than you normally would be able to. But because of the fact that it does not provide any sort of passive stats, you are sort of losing out on some bit of extra damage, stamina reduction, or in any other cases. But on early to late game, it is quite good. I'd say this is the only 10 out of 10 armor set where it is able to work in any build you want. Whether you're using guns, melee weapons, accessories only, it doesn't matter. I'd say this is a jack of all trades, and it's probably the best armor set in the entire game.
I'm a survivor, Black a survivor!
The Survivor armor set is a very straightforward armor set that provides a damage increase to all melee weapons, reducing the overall stamina cost, and provides some bit of healing. The downside of the Survivor armor set is the fact that it provides less armor value compared to a lot of the armor sets, like let's say the Soldier armor set, the Scavenger armor set, and the Bruiser armor set, and so on. So you are a little bit more fragile, but you do get some bit of extra damage. Does that extra damage matter? Yes, it does. It is a little bit more noticeable on the earlier to mid games, but on late game, it is a tiny bit noticeable, but it's not exactly that much eye-catching to say at least. As for the extra health restored and healing, it is pretty damn good. It's going to allow you to use less medkits for more healing. It's going to definitely save you a lot of resources, or in some cases, save some bit of medkits or healing items in general. And the stamina cost that it has is also really damn good, especially if you're using like heavier weapons like two-handed weapons and as well as polearms. This is a 9 out of 10 armor sets, but the only reason it's not a 10 out of 10, and it's mainly due to the fact that you are a little bit more fragile, and if you get caught in the open, or in some cases get surrounded, you're going to get killed relatively easily. So you have to be a little bit more cautious of how you approach enemies. But overall, it is really damn good, especially against like infected and as well as human enemies.
Hey! You're weak, I'm strong, and I win!
The Bruiser armor set, in my personal opinion, is actually a lot more better compared to the good old Survivor armor set. Because for starters, it actually provides a more damage increase compared to the Survivor, and as well as it provides another damage increase towards power attacks. While yes, it does provide a extra higher damage increase towards two-handed weapons, but two-handed weapons have always been a better weapon category than any other melee weapons in the game, especially against the polearms, because of their sheer damage output and as well as their lengthy swinging pattern, allowing you to hit multiple targets with a singular swing. It also does provide you with some bit of damage resistance against the infected, so it can help you on certain occasions. It also has a little bit more extra armor than the Survivor armor set, so it's pretty damn good. The only complaint I can really say about the Bruiser armor set is the fact that if you are going to be relying a lot on two-handed weapons or polearms in general, you are going to be losing stamina quite frequently. The good thing about the Survivor armor set is that it provided the stamina reduction, but the Bruiser armor set does not. If you're not good at managing your stamina, then the Bruiser armor set is not going to be perfectly for you. So I highly suggest using any other melee weapon in the game to be able to make it effective. Because of the fact that the power attack that it has is able to work with any other weapons. But one additional thing I should say is that on the tip of the weapons, always apply something that is able to charge up with each hit, basically the power mod, because the way it functions in Dying Light the Beast is that after you charge it, instead of being a one-time use and then having to charge it again, instead there's a timer limit to before it deactivates, meaning that you can actually use it multiple times before the timer runs out and you have to build it again. So it is a pretty damn good. So if you are planning on using the Bruiser armor set, I highly suggest only focusing on equipping the power mod on every single weapon that you're able to get in your hands. I would say that this is a more of a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason it is not a 10 out of 10, it's mainly because of the fact that it does not provide any stamina production to melee weapons in general, so you are going to run out of stamina quite more frequently, but that extra damage that it has to offer on both two-handed weapons and as well as on power attacks is a very big difference, as it's going to allow you to either two-tap certain human enemies, one-tap virals. Basically you're going to be able to hit certain breakpoints to where you can kill enemies significantly more frequently. Techland, where is my Bruiser shoes? It doesn't exist. It literally just doesn't exist. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Bet they won't have. Wow, they have it!
Methamphetamine.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I am a little bit disappointed, mainly because of the fact that half of the sets that the armor set provides does not necessarily work, specifically being common craft parts and as well as uncommon craft parts. Uncommon craft parts does not exist in Dying Light the Beast, which is a very weird thing, because there's only 3 rarities. There's common, epic, and rare, and that's it. There's no such thing as uncommon craft parts, which is quite confusing. Secondly is the fact that the common craft part loot you gain, quote-unquote, does not actually work. A lot of the times, the amount of loot you get is actually randomized, meaning that you sometimes either get 2, 5, or even 8, let's say wires in general, and even when you do have a full set of Scavenger armor set, it does not increase the amount of loot you get from, say, Dark Zones in general. I could be wrong, it could actually give you more stuff, but I didn't really notice much. There's been so many tests I did behind the screen where I picked up loot from, different Dark Zones with and without the Scavenger armor set, and a lot of times it's just randomized, or I just still get the same amount. So yeah, but what about the damage towards accessories? But for some reason the game calls them as gadgets, which is fucking weird. It can be fine, it's just mostly more noticeable towards grenades and as well as other explosive devices, and that's really it. Other than that, it's not really worth it. Throwing knives are already very powerful as they're able to one-tap half of the enemy in the game, and explosives are able to literally just demolish almost any enemy in the game, and even if they do survive, they're almost at 1% health, and plus Molotovs are the best gadget or accessories in the game, so that extra damage can sometimes not be noticeable. Again, the extra damage that it is able to provide, it can be good, but it's not really that much noticeable if that makes sense. Other than that, it's not really a type of armor set that I would really roll with because of the fact that 90% of the fucking stats does not even work, which is kind of fucking weird. So I'm gonna have to give this a 3 out of 10 because of the fact that half of the stats doesn't even work, and the damage increase that it is able to provide is hardly noticeable. And you're not really going to be using these against the volatiles because of how fucking tanky these bastards are.
Wrong game, you fucking idiot.
Now, the Rogue armor set, despite being more secretive and only found through treasure hunt maps, it is actually a interesting armor set. The recognition time that it is able to provide is not exactly that good because enemies are already able to detect you relatively quick, but maybe against volatiles it can help you out as a way to sometimes not engage a chase that would normally happen without it, but it's not really that good. The damage towards backstabs is not exactly great, but if you're able to stun enemies or leave them affected by an elemental effect, whether it be through ice, fire, or electricity and so on, it can maybe help, because knives have a very unique stats where they sometimes or very often have another extra layer of damage by performing a backstab, basically hitting an enemy from the back. And it's not really that good. I would only really use this where if the enemies are stunned in one way or another. But the big selling point for the Rogue armor set would be the stamina damage. For some of you that don't know, enemies have a hidden stat known as stamina, where anytime you hit an enemy, their stamina goes down, and if it's completely depleted, they're going to be exhausted and be staggered, allowing you to execute, regardless of what type of health or how much health they have. Certain enemies does not have a stamina, like human enemies that have guns, two-handed renegades, volatiles, and so on. It's just mostly on the smaller enemies, and this can be quite effective, especially if you use it with a blunt weapon, which they normally drain the stamina a lot more frequently. to which it will allow you to execute enemies and save your durability a lot more often, and it would also allow you to, gain some bit of stamina back for each time you perform in executions. I would say this is a more of a riskier weapon, but if you're able to kill enemies relatively quickly or hit enemies more frequently, then this can be quite effective. I would give this a 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. It's not exactly like the best, but it can maybe sometimes help you on certain occasions.
I'm no leader. I'm a goddamn parkour instructor.
I hate the fucking place! I fucking hate it! It's full of dickheads!
The Parkourist armor set are really underwhelming, honestly, because the extra damage you get from parkour attacks it's not exactly good, I'm gonna be honest. It's not good. Yeah, it can maybe sometimes help you against human enemies, but a lot of the times you just use a fucking accessory, or like a throwing knife or a gun, and you're already good to go. And then the damage towards melee weapon throws is also not really good. Just use a fucking Bruiser armor set and you're good to go. And then the stamina cost that it is able to give, the fucking Survivor armor set already does that for you already, so you don't really need it. So, yeah, it's a 5 out of 10. It can maybe help on certain occasions, but honestly, it's not really that good. The stats that it gives out is not good, honestly.
Steady, steady. Your prancing show ponies!
The Mercenary, or the Merc as the game calls it, but I'm not calling that because it sounds fucking stupid. The Mercenary armor set is a very unique armor set that it provides a damage increase towards the headshots, or head strikes. Basically, like, anytime you hit an enemy on the head, you will deal basically more damage. It's quite good, honestly, but it kind of forces you to be a lot more careful and kind of actually position your camera and crane in particular, because if you're not hitting them on the head, then the damage increase is not going to be really that good. So as long as you're hitting the head, then you're going to be able to dish out huge amounts of damage, especially against the larger targets. I highly suggest using something like saw blade launchers, crossbows, bows, or like the marksman rifle, and as well as the revolver, because of their sheer high damage output. And use it against a large enemy, you're going to be you have an armor set that is able to literally kill big boys relatively easily. If you're someone like me that can't aim for fucking shit, then yeah, don't roll with it. But even if you just use it with melee weapons, it can be quite good on certain occasions. It's going to allow you to break certain breakpoints where it would either take like one hit or less to kill a certain enemy, which can be quite good. It also provides you with some bit of firearms recoil reduction, which can be fine, but it also gives out some bit of damage resistance against the infected, which is pretty neat. It's kind of nice, actually. I would give this a definite 8 out of 10. The only reason it's not really a 10 out of 10 it's because of the fact that it doesn't make like certain weapons be able to one-tap like biters. Like for some reason the pistol is unable to one-tap biters in the head, which is kind of a weird thing. So yeah, and the only reason it's also not another like 10 out of 10 is because of the fact that certain weapons are able to already one-tap like enemies with pistols already, like human enemies, and as well as like specifically like the Baronsmen in particular, or like against like virals and so whatnot. But it can maybe help you against like the larger infected. But then again, the fact that it also works with melee weapons, it makes it a lot more versatile, to say at least.
The last word out of your sorry mouth will be, sir! And it will be loud, you scum-sucking fruit baskets!
The Soldier armor set is basically the Mercenary, but a lot more better for firearms. Because, for some apparent reason, the Soldier armor set allows the pistol to be able to one-tap biters on the head, but the Mercenary cannot, which is really fucking weird, but either way. But if you're someone that likes to use guns and have a lot of shit ton of ammo on their hands, then yeah, this thing is quite effective. It is going to be able to shred enemies like butter, and it is also going to be able to dish out huge amounts of damage in a quick session. Overall, the Soldier armor set is pretty damn good. It gets an 8 out of 10. The only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is because of the fact that it's very specific on firearms, and as well as it provides a damage resistance towards human enemies, which can maybe help, but it's not really that much noticeable, but it can save you from certain times. But then again, there's like other better stats that other armors provide that are a lot more superior. But yeah, Soldier armor set is very good at the game. On early game, it's not really that good because of the fact that ammo is a lot more scarce, so you're not really going to be using armor that the Soldier armor set that more frequent. But once you get into the mid or late games where you're able to get ammo much more frequent, then using this is also very damn good.
Where the fuck is everyone?
This is probably the only armor set in the game that I don't really have anything unique to say other than it's fine. It's a 5 out of 10. It does what it needs to do. It gives you more XP. Does that extra XP matter? Sometimes, yeah. That's it. It's fine. Just don't use it late game because when you're maxed, there's no other XP to earn. So, early mid game it's good, but after that, why bother? It's a 5 out of 10. It does what it needs to do. If I had to sort of describe each of the armor sets in the game of like how good they are in early to mid game, Parkourist is just terrible on every layer of the game, and then the Rogue armor set can be fine on most of the times, but it's not really that good. But it can sometimes help you on a lot of encounters, especially against like human enemies and groups of virals and biters especially. So mid to late game, it's fine, but maybe on the early game it can be quite beneficial. Scavenger armor set is just kind of useless because of the fact that none of the sets even work, and even when they do work, it's not really that noticeable, so it's kind of useless on all sides. The Survivor armor set is really damn good on both close and is really damn good on early to mid game, but on late game it starts to get a little bit less noticeable. But the other sets it is able to provide, like the stamina reduction and as well as more healing, is really damn good. So it's good on all areas. The Bruiser armor set is perfect on all categories. I cannot over exaggerate. Same thing can be said about the heavy armor set, which is really damn phenomenal in every shape and form. The Mercenary set is really damn good on early to mid games, really damn fucking good, but on late game it can be a little bit less noticeable and less impactful, but it's still a little bit more impactful compared to the others. The Soldier armor set is very useless on the earlier games because of how scarce ammo is, but as you progress through the mid game and late games, it can be quite beneficial and help you on a lot. For new players, I would highly suggest using something like the Survivor armor set, or maybe even the Soldier armor set if you're able to get a lot of ammo on your hands. And then maybe the Heavy armor set. But if I had to give out a chronological order, the Heavy armor set is number 1, the Survivor armor set is number 2, and then the Soldier armor set is number 3, and then the Bruiser armor set is number 4. But for pro players in general, I would highly suggest using something like the Mercenary armor set, and as well as the Bruiser armor set. Those are, in my opinion, one of the best armor sets in the game. So yeah, Bruiser or Heavy, regardless of what it is, they're all good in their own ways, except for the Parkourist. It is a little bit underwhelming, and as well as the Scavenger, which can be, it's debatable in some cases. So yeah, I hope this video gave you a very good insight and explanation on each of the armor set that the game has to offer. If I miss anything or have forgot about ranking a specific armor set, please let me know down in the comments, and I will do my best to talk about them in the comments. So yeah, share out your opinions as to what do you think of each of the armors, which one you think is the best, which one you think is the worst, and why is it the case. Just give me your overall opinion about every single armor set. But one thing I really hate about the armor set in the entirety of the Dying Like the Beast is the fact that why the fuck is Crane only wearing like one glove, and one arm guard? It doesn't make any fucking sense, because for starters, a lot of the glove in the game, it says gloves, plural, which basically means that there's supposed to be 2, but Crane only wears one of them. Same goes with arm guards. Why the fuck is there only one of them when the game says protectors, meaning that there's multiple of them? The only armor set in the game that makes sense, only having one, would literally be the Survivor Spike glove, and as well as the fucking Scavenger glove. The game says that it's a glove, meaning that it's only one, but the rest of the armor sets is literally saying that, oh yeah, there's supposed to be 2 of them, but no, there's only one, but fuck you, that's why. Anyway, I'm getting out of topic. Either way, I will talk about the design of the armor sets in the next video, more like a ranking-wise. So, yeah. If you want my overall opinion as to which armor set is my favorite, it would definitely be the number 1 being the Heavy armor set, second being Bruiser, and third being the Soldier armor set. I really love them all. They're all honestly one of my favorites. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video gave you a very good insight in each of the armor sets, and I try my best to keep it short and simple. So, yeah, without wasting no more time, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see each and every one of you next time. Goodbye.